writing is on the wall. War is here. China's desire for Taiwan is clear, and it's willing to go to great lengths to achieve its goal, even if it means destroying half the world. The United States recognizes the threat and is taking steps to prevent it by developing a new generation of weapons inspired by the successful drones used in Ukraine. But China is not idly standing by. It's actively preparing for war. Can the US and its allies prevent a global catastrophe? Or will the tensions between superpowers finally boil over into conflict? Let's have a good long look and reveal the details of how the US secret DARPA'S Manta ray is a nightmare for China. China preparation for war. When motivational quotes are put aside, the world remembers that weapons are the only way to win a war. China is therefore building an entire arsenal of weapons capable of taking on the most powerful military forces in the world, including the United States Navy. New ships launched, hypersonic weapons, laser-directed energy weapons, surface warships, submarines, and so on are all taking shape in yards all across China. Strategic minds are also already mapping out and testing how exactly to strike Taiwan and win the war. The most recent test happened just a few months ago. It came just after the inauguration of Taiwan's new president, William Lai. China had previously labeled Mr. Lai a separatist and troublemaker over remarks he made in the past supporting Taiwanese independence. In his inauguration speech, Mr. Lai called on China to stop threatening the island nation and accept the existence of its democracy. 3 days later, China threatened the island nation and did not accept the existence of its democracy. China's threat came in the form of a 2-day military exercise around Taiwan. This wasn't the first drill China would conduct around Taiwan, but this one was different. This drill simulated a full-blown war, not blockading, not surveilling, a full-blown war. This is deeply concerning, as in not too long, these simulations might just become reality, and Taiwan might be hit by the full force of China's military power. Connected by water, China and Taiwan might soon be having an explosive conversation where words aren't used, but naval military assets are. For this reason, China is heavily fortifying its navy with everything from new missiles to new surface ships, and perhaps most notoriously, new submarines. China already has one of the most powerful submarine fleets on the planet. China's submarine power is a vital element in its comprehensive naval modernization and expansion strategy, aimed at challenging the United States Navy's long-standing dominance in the Indo-Pacific region and safeguarding China's sovereignty and interests. Beijing's submarine fleet is a force to be reckoned with, comprising both nuclear-powered attack submarines, SSNs, and diesel-electric attack submarines, SSKs, all of which are undergoing continuous upgrades and expansions with cutting-edge designs and technologies. The fleet's impressive inventory includes 6 nuclear-powered ballistic missile submarines, SSBNs, each armed with the nuclear-capable JL-2 submarine-launched ballistic missile, or SLBM, capable of striking targets at vast distances. Additionally, 6 SSNs are equipped with torpedoes and conventional missiles, posing a significant threat to enemy vessels. Furthermore, 46 SSKs, powered by diesel-electric propulsion, are deployed for coastal defense, anti-submarine warfare, and special operations. However, China's submarine ambitions don't stop there. The nation is actively developing new generations of submarines designed to significantly enhance its naval capabilities and pose an even greater challenge to United States naval supremacy. These advanced submarines will be equipped with state-of-the-art sensors, stealth technology, and advanced weaponry, enabling them to conduct a wide range of operations, from anti-surface and anti-submarine warfare to reconnaissance and special operations. China's relentless pursuit of submarine superiority is a testament to its unwavering commitment to naval modernization and its determination to assert its dominance in the Indo-Pacific region. As the geopolitical landscape continues to evolve, the significance of submarine power in shaping the future of naval warfare will only continue to grow, and China is poised to remain at the forefront of this revolution. China's submarine power is a crucial component of its naval modernization and expansion, aiming to challenge the United States Navy's dominance in the Indo-Pacific region and protect China's interests in sovereignty. However, China is not stopping there. New submarine classes are being developed, including the Type 096 SSBN Type 095 SSN and Type 039B SSK, featuring advanced technologies like air-independent propulsion and vertical launch tubes for cruise missiles. These advancements pose a significant threat to the United States, as China's submarines can now target the continental United States from the South China Sea. The scale of China's preparation measures is alarming, but the United States has a powerful countermeasure to counter China's growing arsenal, and Taiwan definitely is not folding its arms. So before we talk about the mighty United States, let's see how Taiwan is preparing for this colossal war with China. Taiwan's Own Response. Taiwan launched its first indigenous defense submarine, the Haikun SS-711, marking a significant step in its domestic ship, domestically built policy. Constructed in Kaohsiung CSBC shipyard, the submarine underwent critical tests during its harbor acceptance trial, including watertight, stability, and ballast control tests. With propulsion and subsystem checks upcoming, the Haikun aims for delivery by year-end. Taiwan's move to build its own submarines comes after years of international supply challenges, creating a fleet to bolster its defenses against China. The project leverages global expertise, reflecting a strong international collaboration in developing a sophisticated naval asset. Recently, the self-ruling island of Taiwan sought to ensure it will remain self-ruling with the launch of its first indigenous defense submarine. The submarine was part of Taipei's domestic ship, domestically built policy. The submarine, the Haikun SS-711, was transferred from its construction hall to a specially built 35,000 tons floating dry dock for ongoing work. Trials have already begun on this mammoth war vessel. According to a report from Naval News, during the first phase of the harbor acceptance trial, CSBC successfully conducted the critical watertight test, weight distribution control, ballast control, and stability control test of the sub's hull. In the second phase of the harbor acceptance trial in the coming months, the Haikun will go through propulsion system checks, subsystem checks, calibration, and follow-on installation works of the batteries and various mast-raising equipment, including the optronics, ESM, radar, and communication masts. Following the installation of the equipment, the submarine will undergo sea acceptance trials and could be delivered to the Taiwanese Navy by the year's end. Taiwan has also maintained a small force of antiquated submarines as it sought to acquire more modern vessels for years. Due to political pressure from Beijing, Taipei could not find any suppliers and, as a result, set out to build its own. As part of the efforts, Taiwan designed and built a new shipyard in the city of Kaohsiung, where it stealthily recruited experts and gathered technology from around the world. It began constructing a fleet of 8 modern, conventionally powered attack submarines earlier this decade. The first of those boats was unveiled last September. The Haikun is the first of the 8 new submarines being developed under a multi-billion-dollar program that could bolster Taiwan's naval defenses in the event of war with China. The new submarine is reported to be around 260 feet long and has a displacement of between 2,460 and 2,950 tons. Although Taipei has invested significantly in building the subs, its program has also drawn from an international coalition, which has provided the technical expertise and components. To further strengthen this vessel, Taiwan hired engineers, technicians, and former naval officers from several countries, including Australia, South Korea, India, Spain, and Canada, to bolster its domestic submarine program. Though the United States and the UK wouldn't actually sell a completed boat to Taiwan, in part because each has only nuclear-powered submarines and doesn't build diesel-electric boats, each nation has provided the technology, including combat system components and sonar arrays. In recent years, the UK even approved multiple export licenses for British-based companies to supply critical parts, technology, and software. So it is not a surprise that Taiwan's domestically built subs have some characteristics of Western-made submarines, notably the United States Navy's Virginia class, as the Haikun class utilizes masts supplied by L3 Harris, which are expected to include electro-optical periscopes. Those masts are similar to the ones aboard the Virginia class and have several advantages, including the fact that they do not penetrate the hull. Hence, they are safer for the boat if it accidentally hits a ship. Another advantage is that they are modular, meaning new masts can easily be switched in or out. The modern optics also means that the periscope doesn't have to be raised for as long, so it is less likely to be detected. The Taiwanese Navy's submarine will likely be armed with the United States-supplied Mk-48 Mod 6, advanced technology heavyweight torpedoes, which were approved for sale to Taiwan back in 2020, along with a submarine-launched version of the United States Navy's Harpoon anti-ship missile. The UGM-84 sub-Harpoon is currently in service with Taiwan aboard the Hailong class of subs. Taiwan quietly possesses one of the most devastating submarines, and with the United States not only lending a helping hand with just the technology but also supporting them in this fight for freedom, does China stand a chance? Let's have a look at the United States statement arsenal, introducing the United States game changer. The game is afoot, and the delicate balance of power in the Indo-Pacific region hangs precariously in the balance, as the world teeters on the brink of a new era of geopolitical tension. The United States, a beacon of democracy and freedom, must remain steadfast and unwavering in its commitment to naval superiority, lest it relinquish its hard-won dominance in the region. The stakes are high, and the consequences of complacency would be catastrophic, for the fate of global security and stability hangs precariously in the balance. As the drums of war beat louder, the development of cutting-edge technologies and innovative strategies becomes an existential imperative, a matter of national security and survival. The Chinese dragon is rising, its military might and economic clout growing by the day, and the world watches with bated breath as the two titans of the Indo-Pacific region engage in a high-stakes game of geopolitical chess. But fear not, for the United States is not about to relinquish its position as the region's hegemon without a fight. For every Chinese measure, the United States has a countermeasure, a secret weapon in its arsenal that will give it the upper hand in this game of strategic cat and mouse. The world may worry, but the United States is confident in its ability to outmaneuver its adversary, to outsmart and outgun its opponent. The United States Navy, the greatest naval force the world has ever known, is the tip of the spear, the cutting edge of American military might. Its warships, submarines, and aircraft carriers are the envy of the world, a testament to American ingenuity and military prowess. And at the heart of this naval powerhouse is a secret weapon, a game-changing technology that will give the United States the upper hand in the Indo-Pacific region. This revolutionary technology, the culmination of years of research and development, is the ultimate countermeasure to China's growing arsenal. It is the ace up the sleeve, the trump card that will give the United States the winning hand in this high-stakes game of geopolitical poker. And as the world watches with trepidation, the United States is quietly confident, knowing that it holds the key to victory in the Indo-Pacific region. The game is on, and the United States is ready to play. The United States has summoned the greatest designer in history, Mother Nature. The manta ray, an animal whose body shape is extremely efficient for swimming underwater, allows the massive sea creature to glide through the water with slow, graceful flaps of its wing-like fins. The gliding method allows them to conserve energy and maximize movement efficiency. This has worked so well for rays that they have remained relatively unchanged for millions of years. This game changer uses external fins-like design perpendicular to the frame of the UUV, which allows for a linear movement of the UUV in deeper controlled dives. These gliders use buoyancy-derived propulsion, which increases the duration of dives and their range through up and down movement in the ocean. The Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, the core research and development agency of the United States Department of Defense, responsible for the development of revolutionary technologies for use by the military, has studied this animal to take advantage of its ease in the seas. Replacing wing flaps with energy-efficient propellers, DARPA is building a new class of long-duration, long-range, payload-capable manta ray-inspired sea drones, capable of persistent operations in dynamic maritime environments. This new class of sea drones is also called manta ray. The manta ray, the effectiveness of sea drones in actual conflict has been impressively displayed in the war in Ukraine, and so millions of dollars in investments are going toward this cause in the United States. The development of the manta ray began in 2020, when DARPA kicked off the program with the thought of creating a large underwater drone that can operate independently of manned vessels and ports. Once underway, DARPA awarded contracts to Lockheed Martin, Northrop Grumman, and Picard Technologies to work on the program. The first phase of the program saw all three companies design and conduct preliminary testing on novel approaches to core components of the manta ray, including energy management, UUV reliability, biofouling and corrosion control, navigation, and undersea obstacle avoidance, among other areas that directly enable long-endurance missions. However, in an interesting turn of events, Lockheed Martin was out of the running by the end of this phase in 2021. Only Northrop Grumman and Picard Technologies made it to the second phase. In the second phase, the two selected companies must each develop full-scale prototype Manta vehicles. Their vehicles must include threat detection, classification, and communications capabilities, high-efficiency propulsion systems, and the ability to withstand the rigors of the undersea, all while remaining completely autonomous or requiring little human interaction to achieve its mission goals. Northrop Grumman has made tremendous progress in this cause. The company has not only built a full-scale manta ray prototype, but has also completed full-scale in-water testing. The testing took place off the coast of Southern California in February and March 2024. Testing demonstrated ATC hydrodynamic performance, including submerged operations, using all the vehicle's propulsion and steering systems, buoyancy propellers, and control surfaces. Northrop Grumman also proved the vehicle's impressive modularity, shipping the prototype in subsections from the build location in Maryland to its test location in California. This alone demonstrated Northrop Grumman's plans for a manta ray that's easy to ship, assemble, and deploy wherever the vehicle may be needed, anywhere on the planet, without taking up valuable real estate inside ships, submarines, or other naval facilities that could deploy it. Once deployed, the vehicle uses efficient buoyancy-driven gliding to move through the water, as it did in the recent test, a highly successful test too, that enabled Northrop Grumman to assess the most crucial subsystems to make the manta ray function as designed. The sea drone will dive deeper than any submarine on the planet, down to the ocean floor, where it harvests energy directly from the sea, ensuring that it never runs out of power. In a 2022 DARPA video, the vehicle achieved this by extending what appears to be a retractable wave energy harvesting device that converts the movement of water into electricity. So, unless the impossible happens and all the water in the world disappears, the manta ray could, in theory, operate forever as it recharges. The vehicle hibernates with nearly no detectable electromagnetic emissions that could reveal its presence to enemy vehicles. This radio silence, combined with impressive diving depths and overall low observability design, gives the manta ray an unrivaled level of stealth, even when compared to some of the stealthiest submarines in the world. Combined with a versatile weapons bay and ultra-quiet, ultra-sensitive hydrophones, this sea drone can be employed for command and control, communications tasks, strike missions, and even surveillance. With more upgrades, it could grow larger into anything it needs to be, like an actual manta ray. The utilization of unmanned underwater vehicles has revolutionized various industries, including the military and film sectors. In a groundbreaking demonstration, a UUV was employed as a vehicle to identify and eliminate targets submerged in water. Ross Lindman, Director of Operations at the company's Technical Solutions Fleet Support Group, emphasized the significance of this achievement, stating, "We ran the full kill chain. We didn't simulate parts of the mission. We executed the entire operation to showcase a capability that can be deployed in the near future." General Dynamics, a leading defense contractor, showcased their cross-domain, multi-platform UUV through a simulated warfare planning tool. The demonstration featured a literal combat ship and two UUVs, highlighting the rapid communication between the operator and the UUV. James Langvin, ranking member on the House Armed Services Committee's Subcommittee on Emerging Threats, emphasized the importance of swift decision-making in warfare, stating, "The goal is to enable warfare commanders to make high-confidence decisions faster than their adversaries." These exercises demonstrated the versatility of UUVs in military applications, as well as innovations tailored to specific mission types. In the film industry, UUVs have been employed to capture stunning footage of underwater wreckage. For instance, a National Geographic documentary called The Dark Secrets of the Lusitania utilized a combination of submarines, remotely operated underwater vehicles, and newt suits to explore the British ocean liner's wreckage. Argo, a UUV developed by the Woods Hole Oceanographic Institute, played a crucial role in finding the Titanic's wreckage and capturing footage for the 1986 National Geographic documentary, Secrets of the Titanic. Equipped with television cameras, Argo provided wide-angle views and close-ups of the ship's remains, offering a glimpse into history. These examples illustrate the vast potential of UUVs in exploring and documenting the underwater world. UUVs are oxygen-dependent vehicles which require resurfacing. With the development of a propulsion unit that does not require oxygen or hydrogen, the ability for the UUV to stay continuously underwater increases drastically. The United States' history with sea drones. Starting in 1957, the first unmanned underwater vehicle was classified as an autonomous underwater vehicle and was created in the United States to research the Arctic waters. The Special Purpose Underwater Research Vehicle was used by the University of Washington to collect oceanographic data until 1979, during which the development of SPUR-V2 began to provide better movement performance and better sensing capabilities. Scientists from the Autonomous and Control Processes Institute took interest in the developments of the AUV SCAT, which led to the introduction of the UUVs L1 and L2 in 1974. L1 and L2 are AUV models used for the further development of technology and oceanographic mapping, respectively. Further development of the remotely operated vehicle brought forth the creation of the autonomous and remote-controlled submarine in 1983 by the ISE Limited Company in partnership with the International Submarine Engineering. ARCS was also classified as a remotely controlled underwater vehicle because of its 32-bit Motorola processor, which allowed for the remote control it featured. This UUV further served as a testing platform, improving on the battery life, navigational, and communicational systems having its first dive in 1987. This led to development of variations of the UUVs. The remotely operated underwater vehicles are a subclass of unmanned underwater vehicles designed to replace human presence in challenging underwater environments. RAUVs are primarily used for educational or industrial missions, requiring manual control by an operator to perform tasks such as surveillance, patrolling, and object manipulation using a gripper or grasping device. The structural design of ROVs necessitates constant human oversight, as their weight distribution can be affected by the attachment of additional equipment. In some cases, ROVs require supplementary assistance due to the critical nature of their missions. For instance, the U.S. Navy's submarine rescue diving recompression system can rescue up to 16 people at depths of 2,000 feet, necessitating operator presence during its operation. Autonomous underwater vehicles, or AUVs, on the other hand, are capable of operating independently without human intervention. AUVs vary in size, ranging from a few kilograms to thousands of kilograms. The first AUV was developed in 1957 by the Applied Physics Laboratory at the University of Washington for Arctic research. By the early 2000s, 10 different AUV models had been developed, including screw-driven AUVs, underwater gliders, and bionic AUVs. Early models employed screw propeller thrusters, while later models utilized automatic buoyancy control. The inaugural model, SPUR-V, weighed close to 500 kilograms, can dive to as deep as 3,650 meters, and had an endurance of close to 6 hours. In contrast, the more recent deep glider model that weighs 62 kilograms can dive to 6,000 meters and travel up to 8,500 kilometers. These advancements in AUV technology have significantly expanded our capacity for underwater exploration and research. However, it would be incomplete to discuss the growth of DARPA'S Manta ray into a go-to weapon without discussing the impact of sea drones in the Ukraine war. Ukraine behind the sea drones inspiration. Uncrewed remote-controlled boats have been around since the end of World War II. Late last century, technological innovations broadened their potential uses. Lethal, advanced sea drones developed and deployed by Ukraine in its war with Russia have opened a new chapter in that story. Ukraine claims it is the first country to set up a specific unit dedicated to producing them. Yemen-based Houthis have also deployed armed unmanned surface vessels as suicide drone boats that explode upon impact. The 2-year-old Ukraine conflict has become a laboratory for new military technology, and naval drones are set to become an essential part of the combat toolbox in 21st century warfare. If you have no idea what sea drones are generally small, unmanned vessels that operate on or below the water surface. They come in all shapes and sizes and can be used for a variety of tasks, from environmental monitoring to clearing mines, surveillance to detonating near targets in kamikaze attacks, or firing at targets like a mobile launcher. These unmanned vessels, that are also called drone boats or maritime drones, have had a broad range of applications for years. They have also been employed for scientific research, search and rescue operations, and coastal patrols. But Ukraine has taken them to a whole new level as it has loaded them with explosives. These sleek vessels speed across the water surface, trailing a wake of white foam, and have a low radar signature that makes them hard to detect, waiting to tear an unsuspecting enemy into shreds. They are also equipped with advanced GPS and cameras. This versatility has seen them grow in use in the war in Ukraine, particularly on the Ukrainian side, which has no powerful navy but now combats one of the most powerful navies in the world. This improved and improvised sea beat is none other than the Magura V-5, the sea drone that Ukraine says it used in the Black Sea and appears to be Kyiv's latest version. It's so sleek and effective that the craft wouldn't look out of place in a James Bond movie. The Magura also has an impressive size. It is 18 feet long, weighs up to 1,000 kilograms, has a range of up to 800 kilometers, 60 hours of battery life, and a 200-kilogram payload. It also beams live video to operators. Another drone that is larger than the Madura, called Sea Baby, was recently revealed by Ukraine. The latest Sea Baby model is capable of carrying 850 kilograms of explosives, hits a top speed of 90 kilometers per hour, and can cover an impressive distance of 1,000 kilometers. Based on what the testing has shown. Ukraine is not sitting around and just building, though. They have reportedly executed at least 13 attacks with sea drones, many of them successful. The attacks have come with low cost, ease of use, and yet lethal strikes that have eliminated million-dollar military assets on the Russian side. The unmanned boats are being used to target Russian shipping and infrastructure in the Black Sea, which has Russian and Ukrainian coastlines. Ukraine says the drones have sunk and damaged Russian ships there. That has helped Kyiv resume some grain exports. Kyiv officials say some 20% of Russian missile attacks on Ukraine are launched from the Black Sea. Ukrainian naval drones first struck a Russian ship in October 2022, the military claim, when they hit vessels moored off the coast of occupied Crimea, and Ukraine has not looked back since then. Last July, Russia said 2 Ukrainian maritime drones hit the Kerch Bridge, a key supply route linking Russia to Crimea, forcing its temporary closure. Unconfirmed reports said a Sea Baby drone was used in that strike. The following month, Ukrainian sea drones struck a Russian port and damaged a warship. Being outgunned and outnumbered in the war against its bigger neighbor, Ukraine's daring sea drone attacks have lifted morale. China might soon suffer the same fate as the US builds its own new revolutionary sea drone, the weapon of the hour, the Manta Ray. Ukrainian know-how and ingenuity are behind the development of the new generation of sea drones. The fact that these Ukraine's sea drones are locally designed and tested with only a few components sourced abroad. So, with the resources the United States have in their arsenal, there's no telling how much upgrades this Ray-inspired sea drone would be. The Manta Ray, a new class of sea drones built to respond to the increasingly daring threats of the Chinese Navy. Should the day come when China makes true to its promise to set sail to Taiwan and take over the island, the Manta Ray might just be lurking deep in the waters, ready to change their mind. To support this war-preventing sea drone, the US has been investing heavily in its development, and it may soon become a game changer in the naval warfare arena. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.